So today, let's dive into something a little different, a really beautiful, kind of poetic and spiritual way of looking at some of those quiet, mysterious moments in life. It's called Arreqqana philosophy, and trust me, it offers a totally new way to think about experiences we usually just brush off.
Okay, let's start with something I'm betting a lot of you have felt. You know that moment? It's the middle of the night, you're wide awake, and the whole world is just silent. It can feel kind of weird, maybe even a little frustrating. But what if it's not that at all? What if it's something else entirely?
And this is where the Arreqqana philosophy flips the whole script. It reframes that sudden, middle-of-the-night wake-up call not as some annoying problem you have to solve, but as a sacred invitation, a summoning, even.
See, in this way of thinking, those early morning hours, they're not random. They actually have a special name, and it's got a really profound meaning. They're called the Nailksha hours.
The actual term for it is Naksha Kuyinel. I mean, just listen to the translation. The hour of hidden threads and soul whisperings. It's also called the silk of stillness, which is this idea that it's a time when the veil between our busy, conscious mind and our deeper self is at its absolute thinnest. Your soul is more permeable, more open to receiving messages.
So you're probably asking, okay, why? Why this summoning? Well, the philosophy suggests it's this incredibly sacred moment for connection. It could be a time when you can finally hear those quiet whispers from ancestors, or maybe make sense of a really powerful dream. It's a moment to remember who you really are, before the world told you who you should be. And sometimes it's a truth you've been pushing down that just really wants to be heard.
Now, this idea of deep listening, it isn't just an inside job. It actually extends to how we connect with other people, which brings us to what the Arreqqana call the art of witnessing.
So in Arreqqana, there's a certain type of deep, meaningful conversation, and they call it Sajaharo no Orakayan. It means the sacred weave of witnessing and wonder. Think about that. This isn't just a simple chat. It's treated like a ceremony. It's this hybrid form we might recognize as a Docu-Talk, where the conversation itself becomes a sacred space.
And what's so cool here is how this idea stacks up against what we usually see in media. A typical show, right? It demands a performance. It's looking for hard answers. But a Docu-Talk, that's a whole different game. It just invites a person to unfold, naturally. It's not about entertaining you. It's about remembering. It's less about raw information and way more about the emotional frequency, the vibe of the conversation.
And this just nails it, doesn't it? It's not a performance for an audience. It's described as an intimate walk of soul and voice. The whole point is just authenticity.
So, to bring this into terms we might know a little better, a Docu-Talk is this powerful hybrid. Just imagine the real, unscripted, genuine conversations you'd get on a talk show, but it's filmed with the beautiful cinematic style of a documentary. The goal isn't just to talk about a person's life, it's to actually document their inner world as it reveals itself.
And you know what? We're actually seeing this format pop up all over the place. Shows like David Letterman's My Next Guest or LeBron James's The Shop, even comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, they all have a piece of this DNA. They're all about real connection in these really cool, relaxed settings. Glow Frequency is another fantastic example, really documenting that inner life through conversation.
Okay, so this leads us right to the spiritual heart of the whole philosophy. Because behind that 3 a.m. summons, and behind this beautiful act of witnessing, there's this feeling of a gentle, divine presence.
And in the Arreqqana tradition, this presence is very often associated with the goddess Lala-A. It's said that she is felt most strongly during those Nailksha hours, that silk of stillness, when all that deep listening is happening. But this brings up a really fascinating philosophical question, right? If a goddess is a source of absolute fullness, of complete love, does she actually need anything from us? Like, does she need our prayers, our devotion?
And the Arreqqana answer is just beautiful. It's that prayer isn't for the divine, it's for us. It's not about feeding some needy god. It's about aligning ourselves with that divine frequency. Think of it like this. All those acts of love and devotion, they're like polishing a mirror inside of you. Not to create some light, but to more clearly reflect the divine light that's already there.
It's all summed up in this one incredible Arreqqana saying, "The goddess does not thirst, but she drinks our sincerity." Wow. She doesn't need our love to survive, but she resonates with the genuine sincerity of our connection, of our wonder. It's a two-way street.
So, we've explored the summoning, this art of witnessing, the divine resonance. Now,
Let's bring it all back home, back to that quiet moment in the middle of the night, and turn it into something practical, something grounding.
Oh, I just love this quote. It frames the experience perfectly. The goal isn't to just fight your way back to sleep. The real invitation here is to use this sacred little window of time to return to your truest self.
So what can you actually do to embrace this moment? The practice is so beautifully simple. You can start by just whispering a question you're holding out into the quiet room. Then, put a hand on your heart to ground yourself. Try to write down just 3 words that come to mind in a journal, like a little snapshot of the moment. And then, maybe the most important part, just sit in the silence for 3 minutes. Not with fear, but just allowing it to be what it is.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to hold on to. The next time you find yourself awake in that silk of stillness, instead of seeing it as an inconvenience, maybe try asking yourself this one simple question. In all this quiet, what am I being asked to remember?